So yeah, I don't know the whole dynamic. I mean, just the last few days, it's just been really. Uh, I mean, it's just so hard to find people that have like normal, sane, logical, interactions and dealings anymore in this day and age. I mean, it's just I think everyone is just so crazy and like in their own like little kind of like narcissistic and like personified, I'm God world or something, that they're just too busy to like really land, and hit home for fucking, you know I don't know, logic. So apparently, I got a friend, and she, bought a car, and because she's, I guess she had a warrant or something. This was back, this was a couple years ago, and she, she was on the run or whatever, and she wasn't doing anything major, like bad or anything, and she just, she picked up a couple, drug charges, the most common thing that you go to prison for nowadays, it seems, because they want to put people in prison that aren't going to cause any problems and are just going to sit there and play cards and buy commissary while they make $60,000 a head because one person owns a really big ass amount of money and builds a private prison with slave labor, with other druggies that are in prison getting paid 40 cents an hour. So, anyways, she apparently, like, was just so scared of getting arrested or dealing with police or whatever, that she didn't want to risk going to the MVD. And last time I checked, they don't check for warrants at the MVD. I'm not saying that that won't change. I mean, things are getting more and more just like, invasion of privacy every day. But furthermore, I mean, I think like the technology will just undermine the whole unnecessary, step of going to the MVD. But for whatever reason, she didn't just immediately put the title in her name or have her mom do it or something. You know what I mean? Like she didn't. She just bought a car, kind of midway between Tucson and where she was coming from, which was Vegas. Apparently, she was supposedly coming from Colorado, but I don't know. She got sidetracked and went to Nevada or something. Before she came here, which is fine. Whatever. She leaves the title open. That's not fine though. So she gets her. I didn't. I had no awareness of the fact that the car wasn't already signed over. I mean, I just assumed, because I mean, despite like drugs and the just like minor offense of like escorting or whatever, which is, in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with it. I don't see absolutely anything wrong with that. I think it's ridiculous that it's even illegal, to be honest. I mean, it's obvious, dead obvious to me, that it's just another fucking excuse to arrest people and put them in jail. So it's pretty fucking stupid. um if in the event, of course, that they're privately self-employed, they're an entrepreneur. Now if somebody's kidnapping them or psychologically abusing them and forcing them to do that, yeah, that's horrible, and that person is a scumbag. But that was not the case, and she did pretty well at it when she was doing it. Well, anyways, I mean, somebody who's not planning that far ahead, and doing the whole, fucking not going, getting the title in their name and shit, and driving around with somebody else's plates. I mean, they're not gonna last long. So she comes down here, and we kick it a little bit, and then we're just kind of like hanging out for a couple days, and then we get mad at each other, or we go our separate ways, need a break. And she, in her dealings, she met this guy, and apparently, you know, he's just he's like big man Barlow or some shit over here, and he fucking apparently was is he had the spot, because like all the stuff that she wanted to do at the time, and he was able to allow her to do, and he she was under the impression that this could work out and she can stay there and stuff, and and at that time she was like his goal, his little prize or whatever, his new flavor, his new indulgence or whatever, and everything was working out. She was getting basically kind of reign of house. I mean, nonetheless, there was still, I think, like other girls there. I mean, basically, the guy, pretty much every prostitute in this fucking town knows him, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I mean, like I did not judge the guy because he buys a bunch of prostitutes, or allegedly buys a bunch of prostitutes. I'm not throwing him under the bus for that. It's just It's like, you know, I mean, come on, dude. Fucking, you, you know, you do what you do, right? So there's seems people in and out. It's just, drugs, whatever. I know a bunch of prostitutes. I got arrested selling drugs, and I sold them all drugs. Of course I know, and they make good money. So why the fuck? I'm not gonna go sell it to bank robbers. That they'd rather rob me than the bank, because I'm probably easier than a bank. So I don't like violent, dangerous people. I typically veered on the side of people that made good money and didn't stress me the fuck out, and were easy to get along with. So hot chick that makes a lot of money, that's pretty easy usually. I mean, they're a little bit of a basket case, most of them, but a lot easier to deal with than people putting guns in my face. And so that's whatever. He's a big fish. He's paying all this money out to all these chicks for attention or whatever. Allegedly, he might be or something. Um, so you know, she gets arrested eventually, and okay, right on. That sucks, but now she's gonna get her time over with, right? Shit's gonna go good now. She gets out, everything's gonna be great. Well, she does really good. She gets out. She doesn't, she's reformed now. She's moved on, and she's not doing that dumb shit anymore. She's moving on with her life. She doesn't have time. For people like me, she's got to work like 40, 50 hours a week. I'm just some loser ass developer or something, and you know, she got out, and she had to parole here, because I guess like her husband or whatever that she was actually married to, that I vaguely heard about or something. I think she mentioned it a couple times, or the guy's annoying as fuck and he just called a billion times. But um apparently she had to come out here, and she doesn't have family or anything out here, man. And she was basically fending for herself, and she she fucking did really good. I mean, she did just like me, except she did it better. I mean, I'll just say it. I mean, like, I got out, yeah, I got a job right away. I was making good money, and I was like, working all the time, and I was getting my stuff handled. Right now, I'm, in basically kind of a volley between like a couple businesses and learning like several programming languages. But she got a job. She's kicking ass at it. I mean, she's making like nice ass paychecks, and she's saving, good amount of money. And then she got her own place now, and she's got a car, and that's where the problem lies. Is you see, while she was in prison, apparently this guy, and I'm sure like because the guy's got money, dude. He's got a fucking jet ski, he's got a boat, got all kinds of shit. Okay, and I don't think he really needs money. I mean, like, yeah, his like work truck's a piece of shit or something, but like self-employed, like pool cleaners and stuff like that, like they make good money. I mean, he doesn't work, hardly at all, but I don't blame him, and I would work as little as possible if I could get away with it too. And I do work all the time, but it's like until I get to that point where it's like I have just like shitloads of money automated coming to me, like I feel I got to work a lot more, and he's doing good. So I just didn't see why he did this move. I think it was out of animosity, because like he didn't like the fact she was paying attention to some other guy that wasn't him, because he's kind of a little weasel, and he's kind of a jealous type person, and he likes to have control of situations apparently, which is really really fucking annoying, actually, to be honest with you. So he gets mad, and apparently he goes through her and rummages through her things, because he went through every single thing she had, which is, he's a really nosy person, which is not cool. I mean, like, he's like the type of motherfucker that, like, if you accidentally had your mail delivered to his house, you'd get it, you might get it, but it would be like opened or some shit, and he could just be like, I don't know how that happened, I didn't commit a federal offense. He's just one of those guys, and it's just fucking weirdo. And so we we basically like come to the realization he basically put the title of her car in his name, which is kind of shocking, considering well, it was an open title because she was stupid with it. But I mean, come on, dude. Like, there's like a gap. Like when you look at the like the buyer's history, it goes from like April to like December when he signs it over. And I'm sure like naturally the person that he would say sold it to him would be like the last person that owned it, because that would be the only person that technically would be capable of selling it to him. So then here lies therein. That didn't happen, because obviously the chick bought it from that person, and he didn't. And there's like a law actually in Arizona, because like the car was bought in fucking Las Vegas, and he didn't go up to Las Vegas to buy the car. Okay, it's fucking clear as day because well, when she came down, she was driving this SUV in particular to get here, and I witnessed that. So I guess I'm a witness to that. Yeah, it was her vehicle. Um, if I would have known that she had an open title, I'd have made her ass go to MVD and get it because apparently this does happen. Like most time you never even have to worry about this. I mean, I've had all kinds of crazy robberies and shit happen in my life, and I don't even think people even would take the time of day for a title. But this little asshole, he did, and he took it upon himself. So I believe that particular crime, if you basically fraudulently take a vehicle, because even if it's an open title, it still has to be yielded over to you by the person who owned it. So what he did, because he knowingly was basically stepping on somebody's toes and stealing the vehicle, that's embezzlement. Embezzlement is just really massive category apparently in Arizona. It's just like embezzlement can be all kinds of crazy things. There's just a wide range, but it falls into that category because the car's valued at just under $5,000. It's between, if it's in shitty condition, it would be like 37. If it's in like great condition, it'd be like in 50 something. So if that thing breaks even a dollar over $4,000, that's putting it in a category that essentially means it's going to be an F2. So it would be like a minimum of like 2 years. That would be like if you got the mitigated sentence for embezzlement, it would be 2 years, and then you're never going to get the aggravated because I don't think the guy's got a record. He's going to get the 2 years, but it'd be like 8.75 would be the aggravated charge if they stacked you, which they won't do. And that's one thing. I mean, I won't even bring up the fact that the questionability of some of these girls and their ages and what have you. We won't even go there. I don't even want to talk about it. It's disgusting. And yeah, the dude's just a weirdo. He stole that thing. He basically he just pulled some little bitch move where she was over there and everything was fine, and then all of a sudden he comes up with some excuse that nothing's fine anymore, and he steals her laundry detergent and some, I don't know, like $22 worth of softener and a bunch of her stuff, and basically kind of gives it a bunch of it away to these two other little girls that are fucking half my age or something, and that's half my age. I'm in my 30s, so that's a little questionable. I mean, Jesus, because I think he's got fucking, what was he, 55? Fuck, dude, you got 20 years on me, bro, and they're half my age. That's a little weird, bro. But yeah, so he's he's over there, and he's no saint or nothing. I mean, I'm not going to get into what substances he chooses or does not choose to do. I mean, it's neither here nor there. But stealing old girls, shit like that's pretty grimy. And then what he goes and does is then he takes it upon himself to, as he's basically not allowing her to get her belongings and stuff, he says, and I didn't hear about this till she got to the car, and she's having a conniption over it because she didn't get her things that she needed, and she's trying to get it, make headway to move to her new place finally, and the guy basically was keeping all the stuff, and he said, yeah, you better get the fuck out of here. You're just lucky I don't, I might just end up calling the police and reporting that car stolen. That's my car or some shit. And because possession is 9/10 of the law. That's what he said after he's stolen the car, and he's stating that he wants $1,000. Okay, I don't know. A guy who owns a boat, okay, a jet ski, his own condo or whatever the hell that is, condominium, I think is what it is, and he owns it. He's in a homeowners association. He's got money, okay. I don't think he's ran out of money. I mean, I think he's an idiot with his money, but I don't think he'd be spending just an asinine amount of money on all these little girls that he's buying if he didn't have money or he didn't have money coming in. So I don't think he really needs whatever bullshit money. He says he wants $1,000 for the title. Okay. I don't think so, bud. And it doesn't matter what you loaned her, you gave her, any of that shit, bro. You got a bunch of little parasite. And I'm not hating on them. They're young. They don't know any better. But it's dude, nobody is producing nothing for you, and they're consuming off of you. Because otherwise, the young tend to flock with the young, my friend. You know, they'd be out with their little boyfriends and shit and doing other things and causing problems or some shit, you know. They wouldn't be with the, you know, an old man, you know, fucking like, you know, waiting for you to die or some shit or whatever the fuck you do over there. Okay. So, um, there you go. And, they're there. So I don't know, just because you want to give, you know, old girls, shit to them or something, and, you just won 1,000 just because you succeeded in, you know, doing a bill of sale and transferring something illegally and committing embezzlement, with the title. You just think you deserve $1,000. See that you said don't. It's none of my fucking business. I shouldn't get involved and all this. Well, I'm sorry. The thing is when you threaten to, you know, call the police and I'm in a vehicle and, I very much am, you know, a former, you know, convicted felon for, you know, intent to sell drugs, and I'm in that vehicle. That's and then and then I call and, I was very civil about the call, despite, hearing that you were acting like a child. You just immediately hang up as soon as you hear my voice, which is kind of weird. I mean, I would assume, you know, like if I was like some like, you know, raging steroided out asshole, like, you know, you just hung up on me, I'd probably have no choice but to run up to your door all, you know, chest puffing out or something because you wouldn't hear what I say. I didn't want to hear a damn thing you had to say. I just wanted reassurance that you weren't going to do that, or else I was going to maybe be concerned that you were going to call the police and get this fucking, for no fucking reason, by the way, and have, you know, a car towed that you don't rightfully own, bro. I'm sorry. Like, I mean, I know that that's real cute. You think that you own, but dude, cars are. Let me just put it to you this way. Like, there's a reason you can't, you know, just take a title and do that, you know, or just run up. You can't just wait till like somebody's at a car dealership and run up, you know, and grab the title right as they're about to sign it in middle, you know, be like, haha, I got it, I signed it, it's mine, I win. It doesn't work that way, bro. People, basically the way, I don't know, this is the way I look at my car. I'm just gonna, she's probably a little bit quicker to get rid of it or whatever, just write things off, and she just wants to move on, and she just wants you out of her life and all this. This is the way I look at it. If that was my car, okay, like my Charger, okay, this is how it would go down. If you did something like that, somehow, some way, you like got the title, I would say, cool, put that shit in my name right now, and I'll be on my way. And if you like try to say even, I'd probably start swinging on you the second you said a single dollar. And I don't care what you gave me, because I think that would more than make up, like, if you give me like 3 grand for even fucking thinking it was appropriate to take a car that my mom or my family could have easily done that for me. Because why would she trust some weaselly ass old dude like you to fucking handle her fucking property and her belongings like that? I mean, fuck you, dude. And, if you think you're going to get the car, you're just simply not. I mean, you're not going to be able to sell it, okay? There is nothing, I mean, no force of God that will stop, if you somehow pulled some janky shit. Let's say you did the dumbest thing in the world and you, like, you know, repossessed it or got some little Weasley ass like fucking tow truck driver to come grab it. Well, I don't know, bro. I'm pretty sure I remember where you live. So I don't think that's really gonna get you anywhere. You know, I think that's retarded. You see, the reason why, like, you know, some rich asshole who owns like a Mercedes or something, like, doesn't get mad at his neighbor and go like key the shit out of his neighbor's car, is because then, you know, the neighbor could come over and walk up to his Mercedes and key the shit out of his car, and then they just look like idiots because one of them's got a keyed car and the other one's got a keyed car, and now they're beating each other with their newspapers and their fists, and their kids are just looking at them like they're fucking retarded, you know, in between, like, you know, sending messages on Facebook and doing whatever the hell fucking weird ass millennials do. So I think you get the point. Like, bro, you're a fucking retard. You're acting like a child. This woman is not going to pay you fucking money, okay? Like, get the shit out of your safe, okay? I mean, seriously, like, let's just run it by here. You're gonna lose everything, bro. Everything. You are going to fucking lose everything you have. I am not fucking around. You are going to lose every goddamn thing you own. Everything. You keep fucking around like this, dude. That's retarded. Dude. Seriously? It's $1,000. Like, give that shit the fuck back to the rightful owner, okay? Get the fuck on with your little weird ass videotaping me having sex, making little snooty ass comments about it, and then, you know, having a conniption because I'm looking to see who the camera's at that you've been videotaping my ass as I've been in a guest bedroom, and then have you lie and say I was there for 2 months. I mean, dude, you're a fucking weasel, bro. You're a problem. And, I just don't like the fact that you have access to spy and look at the OnStar and all the shit and all the formalities of her phone, and you're fucking weirdo, bro. Like, just get the goddamn title. And I mean, seriously, bro, I fucking ruined way bigger people than you. If you wanna see like a bigger fucking explosion, why don't you just go ahead and Google and YouTube Esurance Review. Yeah, that's a $567 million company, bro, and I cost them millions for fucking me around on some fucking phone call. So I don't really think that it's in your best interest to keep running this little charade. And I didn't want to get involved, fuckhead, but you kind of brought me into it, and I definitely I pardoned the whole creepily fucking videotaping me doing shit, and I definitely just rolled my eyes when you were just all insecure about some little girl fucking being enamored at the fact I know how to use a computer. Like, come on, bro. I don't want anything to do with any of those fucking weird ass fucking fucking order drive through windows that you got. Those, I mean, they're just, I look at them like they're young. I don't have anything against them. I mean, if they hate me or something, I'm sure it's just something you poisoned their mind with or something. I have no animosity towards them whatsoever. And you giving my homegirls shit to them or whatever, I don't think that they're at fault or anything. I think you're just an asshole. And basically, yeah, you need to come right, bro, because you make $100 an hour right now, okay? So when you're making no money, like, because that will happen, trust me. And when you're making $0 an hour and you're sitting there stewing in fucking hatred and animosity over $1,000, you're gonna feel real shitty, bro. Cause I ain't the motherfucker that quits, bro. Like, I'm gonna do what is right. Because do you really think I'm making any money? I'm not making $1 off of her getting that fucking car back. I get nothing out of that. I'm not dating her. I'm not gonna marry her and take it or any of that shit, bro. It's her fucking car, and you're a fucking scumbag for taking it. So you need to make right. And if you don't make right, I have absolutely no choice but to continue proceeding in exposing the scumbaggery that is you.